This is Conrad Fargo. We're here, Fargo Famous, with Derek Ystebo, returning champion. Hello, Derek.
Yes, I'm back, the first two-time guest. So that's quite an honor. Also, good job getting my last name correct. I appreciate that. That always makes me happy because that's obviously a tough last name to pronounce. So good job keeping me honest here.
Derek, your mic is not working.
That's not good.
That is really not good. Let's... I'm just going to keep turning on mics until one of them starts working. Can you tap the microphone there? No.
Nothing.
Do we only have one mic in the studio? That's going to make the whole show really tough to do. New year problems. There we go. Why don't you, yep. Hold on.
Ooh.
All right. You're going to be on mic 4 today. How do you like that?
I'll take it. Hello, test.
There we go. You're very loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm very loud. Okay.
No,
Well,
that's not.
That's something that I've heard my entire life is that I'm very loud, so that's not going to change here. So
Oh, boy.
I'll try to position this mic in a way that I can still talk to you. I'm out of camera. That's okay. They don't need to see me. It's probably
There. Now can they see
there we
you?
go. A little bit interesting angle,
There
but
we-
we'll take it. Yes, two-time guest. I'm happy to be the first two-time guest on your show.
First, second
Excited.
time. But you know, in this show, so we started last July, and then we did the Zumba in the square, and then you are like in top 3. So like I have the
three.
YouTube analytics and all that, and people love to watch your Zumba in the square. You are known for your Zumba.
I'll take it. I hope it's famous, not infamous for that. If people have seen me, depending on the day, sometimes it's very, very, in beat, on rhythm there. And some days it's like, what am I doing? Moving around, flailing about. Sometimes the best way to describe it. But I think people, either way, they get energy from me at the very least.
I think that you are very in beats and very aerial. You get in the air, and that's what I love the most. I always love doing your songs because I love getting up in the air and
yes.
flying and jump around.
It's a joke that I'm like, we're gonna slow things down a bit when I'm going through one of my playlists, and that has different meanings for different people. A lot of people think, oh, we're going to slow it down. It's like, no, we're just going to do a little less jumping up and down. But usually, again, it is a lot of jumping. Yeah, that's more my style. I don't have a dance background, more of a fitness background for me. So that fits my style. I like to jump.
Well,
see how I can jump off the ground,
Last time you were on, we talked Zumba, and we're going to be talking Zumba in the next segment for sure with the Fargo Fun, because we're coming up to a dance event that we're going to be talking about. But what else we have going on, or what else about you, I wanted to touch on the Fargo Famous, because last time we talked about your dance and your exercise and your biking. I wanted to talk about what you do for a living, because we never even touched on that.
Yeah, we don't really touch that because so much of this is focused on, what we do for the events in the community, right? In terms of working there. And, the time at the Y, it is probably, again, is it my main job? No. But is it something that I enjoy a lot? Yes, it is, because it's something that at the end of the day, it is something that no matter what, you have that, right? You have that moment. So to me, that is one of my biggest passions is what we do at the Y, because it's so engaging. It's so important, the work that we do and the connections we make. So, again, is it my main, but I really consider it one of my main things that I focus on, because again, it is one of my biggest drives is to connect with people, work out new songs, stuff like that. It's just something that really empowers me, empowers other people, and I really think that's again, to me, that's been a new focus for me in 2024, and it's something that I had a lot of passion for. I would say very early on when I was teaching Zumba, and then you kind of get into the routine of it. You get into the doing this every week, and you kind of settle into a rut, which is not good. And then I would say in the last couple months, I've really found a new passion for it and a new, I need to push myself more to be the best instructor I can be. And and the reason I do that is because the people we see each and every day, each and every week that come to class, and it's just something that really speaks to me. It's something that I'm glad I found when I look at the story of my life. If I don't tell the story of Zumba, I don't tell a very significant chapter of my life. I actually had a memory come up recently on Facebook where I think it was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I think it was my first full year of doing Zumba. And it was like, I posted like a progress pic, which I never, ever do. And,
when you were like 30 pounds heavier, right?
Yeah. And I was wearing like a pair of my old jeans, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's, that was my starting point. That was where I was, and that's where, now I know I'm at now, and I know I still have more room to grow. That's the important thing. Like, fitness isn't a one-way direction. It's not you do this for X amount of time and you reach the destination. It's constantly evolving, right? We all have ups and downs. It's not a straight line. Everything we do in this life is not a straight line. It is something that we have ups, we have downs, and it's how we react to those ups and downs that I think is just so impactful. It's so it speaks to our character, right? How we deal with adversity, how we deal with the successes we get as well, right? It can, if success goes to your head, it can be one thing, and if you kind of take it humbly, that's another thing. It speaks to who you are. But this what we do, what I do for the why is just so important to me, and it's important to I hope a lot of people. I hope people come back and see me from time to time when it comes to the classes that I either attend or teach at, because again, what we do, we do it for the people. We don't do it for ourselves, right? It's not a self-aggrandizing thing. It's I want to provide for the people that come, and I don't care if it's one person, 10 people, 100 people, whatever. Never had 100 people, by the way. I've never. That would be an absurd amount of people in any of the Wise facilities. Well, maybe the gymnasium. I think they're capping. Well, I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry, Conrad.
There's got to be a fire code at a certain point, right?
Yeah, the fire marshal will shut us down. I think that's not just a lyric in some rap songs. I think the fire marshal will shut you down if you have too many people. I think there's a max occupancy outside every door. Now, if you ask me what that is, I probably can't tell you. I probably should know, but I cannot. So, but yeah, this really is, I look back at my time with the Y, and it's just been so amazing, right? To start where I did. I think I was teaching like twice a month at the beginning. At one point, I was teaching 4 times a week. That I don't know how I had to stay super regimented when it came to.
It's got to be a lot of work.
It is. I mean, you think about it, four classes a week, about 16 songs, so 64 songs a week. You don't want to repeat because then you're hearing the same songs 4 times a week. It's not great. And then obviously when COVID happened, we scaled down. I'm back to 2 times a week, which I think is also probably a better balance for myself.
The Y was shut down for a minute though during COVID, right? Or not really?
In-person facilities were down for a while, but they, offered some or online opportunities, right? They had some fitness classes you could stream from your computer, tablet.
Were you going into the gym to record those?
For the longest time, I was actually, when COVID happened, that was the longest time I was away from the gym since probably 2012, 2011. Yeah. I completely disconnected, which is probably not a healthy thing looking back to disconnect. Decided I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to be very sedentary, and they slowly started bringing back group fitness classes, and I think it was like 7 months after they said, "Hey, we're ready to bring back if you want to teach, we got a spot for you." And I'm like, "Okay, what do we need to do?" And we kind of worked through the distance aspect of it because we had a very small capacity that we could accommodate at that time. But we had, like this, we have equipment. We could stream our classes through various platforms. So, you got to get a little look into how that works, because again, that's something I'm not very familiar with in terms of teaching. You're used to seeing someone in person, not through a camera. So once they showed you, hey, here's how you set it up, here's how you hit play, here's how you archive it, you really get to see, to quote someone, how the hot dogs are made. That's really what happened, and then slowly but surely they opened things up. So it was very space restricted, and then I think in 2021 they removed the space restrictions and still did the option for online classes, but later the online classes, unfortunately, I think did discontinue. I mean, there's obviously costs associated with like the software to stream that, and with certain classes with music rights, it is quite an uphill battle to be able to do that just because of the rules in place there. But now we're kind of operating as we did before. I mean, a lot of things are the same. You go in, you're in person in class, and getting that connection with the people, learning their names, learning their story, getting to know them. So, yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. Looking back at where I started and where I am now. If you would have seen like one of my first classes, ooh. I had energy. I had the spirit, but I did not have a lot of things go. I feel I've really refined some of my skills in the last 3 or 4 years. And more importantly, I think I've loosened up in that space, because that really is tough to do sometimes, to be like, I'm just going to be wild, I'm going to be weird, I'm going to be myself in front of people that may have only met me 1 or 2 times, or it's their first time, and it's like, oh gosh, who's this weird dude jumping around on stage covered in sweat, and do I want to come back? And hopefully they do, because at the very least I try to say, hey, we're pretty open environment, and we're just here to have fun. That's what I always try to say. It's fun. You're working out and you're having fun. The two kind of most important things with any kind of workout classes, right? You're getting the good workout in, but it's not something that's a chore.
That's what I love about, I mean, I used to try to run and do the treadmill and stuff, but it's hard to get those calories. But the Zumba class goes by like that. It's done. It's over. It's so much fun. That's going to be our next segment, is talking about,
right.
Yeah, we're already done with the first segment.
Wow.
Yeah, moving on. You sent me 2 Pitbull tracks. The first one I'm going to play is Bandolero. I'm working on the roll and R there. And then we will be back with Fargo Fun. So don't go
awesome
nowhere.